findings and delivering an action plan to the American people, and it's going to be a plan that people are really waiting to hear. Every year, public perception is strong in the trust of our citizens, but they really trust
Very gentle.
American healthcare.
Yeah.
The United States spends more money in health than any other country, but we're growing sicker every year. We're not as healthy as countries that spend just a fraction of what we spend. So there's something wrong. He's going to figure it out.
And Kennedy joined the Ingram Mingle last night and vowed to tackle more than just physical
Muy.
health problems that Americans face.
War is not just been a health crisis.
B.
War is a spiritual
Punto.
crisis.
No.
And those things are connected. But there's a
B.98 80. É? Agora? Hot. 4289 D. Ok, esse aqui, ó. Esse aqui, ó.
I wanted the most out of every run.
Begin.
Gave me room for my toes so I can keep going.
This is Christopher
Oh my
Chad
God.
Butler, the Princeton, West Virginia Police Department's Officer of the Year for 2017. Let's check in and see what he's up to these days. Here he is serving as a school resource officer, getting out of the car of an underage girl and putting his duty belt back on. And also here Snapchatting an underage girl. But there have been many other allegations against him, and there's at least one video of this guy that I have seen, and I will try to bring it. And you can help too by sharing this footage, making sure that everyone has seen what you just saw, and everyone knows who this guy is. So they have no choice but to make sure that he can never wear a badge ever again.
Former Princeton Police Sergeant Christopher Chad Butler was indicted by a Mercer County grand jury this week on 2 charges.
I just want everybody to know that the department and myself, we have cooperated 100% with this investigation, and we will continue to do so. And the department and myself, we do not condone this type of activity. We never have, never will. I would encourage that if there are any more victims that pertain to Butler or any type of this activity, that if they would please come forward.
Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully all of us can agree that we have to get rid of bad cops. Now I have some breaking news for you today. This is a developing story, and I have a bunch more to come. So you are going to want to subscribe. This is one of those situations where this is from my home state, so I know a lot. I know things. And in fact, I already knew who this cop was because I sued him at least 2 times. We all talk about bad apples. If I had to pick one bad apple off the top of my head, even before I saw what you're about to see, I would pick this one. At the root of a lot of these bad apple problems is a lack of accountability, where you have a police department or an agency that enables the behavior. Like I said, this officer, Christopher Chad Butler, or perhaps former officer with the Princeton, West Virginia Police Department, was named Officer of the Year in 2017. And ironically, if you actually go back and read that article, this is what it says, talking about how great this guy is. Although he didn't name specifics, Butler said the cases that make him feel as if he's fulfilling his calling typically involve the most innocent citizens among us. Anytime children are involved, that's when I feel like I've really accomplished something. He said, children are completely innocent. They don't realize they are in a bad situation and they really don't know how to get themselves out of it. That did not age well. In fact, it should have been a warning sign. This guy had been sued a bunch of times, including at least twice by me. So where do they put him if he keeps getting in trouble on the streets? Let's put him in the school. Next thing you know, an underage girl posts a TikTok video of this guy on duty in his uniform getting out of her car. Also exposed on social media is what I believe to be Snapchat. I don't use the app, so I can't say for sure. It's a digital communication between this officer and, as I understand it, an underage girl, perhaps the same one. I'm not sure. He's clearly in uniform, and this is what he has to say to her. Well, that was just lovely, wasn't it?
Yes.
That didn't seem like his first time saying something like that over Snapchat to an underage girl. And in fact, thanks to the community exposing this and jumping on this, there's now actually an FBI website seeking information and new victims who have encountered this guy. I'll link that below, but this is what it looks like. So as I understand it, he was exposed through the activism of the local community online. And in particular, it looks like this one Facebook page, West Virginia Offenders, is apparently doing fantastic work weeding out some of these people. Although they didn't know it, behind the scenes, there were some law enforcement that were investigating this guy. The breaking news is that he was just indicted. The grand jury just indicted him with 2 counts. 1, sexual abuse by a parent, guardian, or custodian, or a person in a position of trust with a child. And secondly, count 2, gross neglect of a child, creating a substantial risk of death or serious bodily injury. Now, the second one, let me start with that because I don't have a picture or video from that, but I have a description of what that's about. Apparently, there is a photograph that surfaced somewhere of a young minor child holding this guy's service pistol and pointing it at him. So you have a police officer, apparently in uniform, handing his loaded gun to a young girl, very young. That's what I believe count 2 to be about. Count 1 has to do with the TikTok video that you just saw. So he was working as a school resource officer, which is basically a police officer who is stationed to protect students literally inside a school. And instead of protecting them, he was engaging in sexual conduct with one of the students at that school. How do we know this? Well, she posted a TikTok video where he's getting out of her car. He's basically putting his clothes back on. You can see him putting his duty belt back on. Now, why would he even let this minor child film a TikTok video of him putting his belt back on and getting out of her car? Apparently, he didn't know he was being filmed. So, 2 felony charges. I understand he's no longer working as a police officer with the Princeton Police Department. And of course, a lot more is going to come out. There's actually some crazy stuff that's going to come out. Not only about what this guy did, but about a potential cover-up from the inside. Very limited information right now. All we have is the indictment. More will be released. I know some of what's still to come, but I can't release that just yet. This illustrates why even multiple lawsuits hardly have any effect on accountability for bad police officers. It takes much more than that. And unfortunately, many times it results in something like this, where they just keep getting worse and worse and worse until now they're getting out of their cars and putting the police uniform back. But there have been many other allegations against him, and there's at least one video of this guy that I have seen, and I will try to bring it. So subscribe to here and at the blog, civilrightswarrior.com. I will definitely stay on top of this one. And you can help too by sharing this footage, making sure that everyone has seen what you just saw. And everyone knows who this guy is. So they have no choice but to make sure that he can never wear a badge ever again. Remember, our rights will end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
Did you know, using the grocery outlet app gives you the opportunity to win groceries for life? Imagine never paying for groceries again. What if I can't decide? Avocados? What's your number? Long choose. At Grocery Outlet, you think more budget. And not just the basics. With Grocery Outlet, you'll find all your favorite brands included. Including gluten-free pasta and my favorite cookies. Everything's included.
So burgers and steaks for life?
You've got to win first.
Still worth it.
Now that's bargain bliss.
Bye-bye.
Grocery Outlet, bargain.
Ba.
Juice.
No, there's the other one, or is it the pineapple one or the one that's in the door? Is it Don?
Oh, that's the one that I gave you yesterday.
I know, is it Don?
Yeah, you asked me to fill the bottle with water, so the other one that has here is apple water.
Just some orange soda's fine.
Mãe, qual é o nome disso? Eu vou colocar B.9.
Give me a few chips, please.
Aqui. Ô, pessoal. 14. E depois? Aí, esse está errado.
Thank you.
Esse aqui, ó. Deixa eu ver.
What?
I need help getting
É qual?
Just to fact correct, please, if you
We're gonna have to wait.
Mr. Duffy didn't come from a state job. Mr.
Sim.
Duffy came
Você mudou
from
meu password?
deputy chief of
Não.
staff at
Esse é o
DOD
password.
before he went to OZ. Big difference there. Manager Garcia said he failed to appear. Well, the House
Olha esse
committee
aqui, ó.
would not allow agency counsel to appear with Mr. Duffy or Mr. Blair. They would not let agency
Tem algum
counsel
problema aí, já porque sempre foi esse, eu não troquei.
Office of Legal Counsel determined, of course, that the exclusion of agency counsel from House proceedings is unconstitutional. A pretty basic right. So what did they do? They took no action on the subpoenas. But now they want you to take action. The managers have been telling you all day, the House managers all day, White House is trying to hide from American people what witnesses had to say. They've been
Meu Deus, passou hoje. Mudou?
Mudou não, quem mudou então? Você.
Eu não.
Eu não.
Eu não.
Mas eu não mexi. Não troquei.
Eu não troquei, tá? Tá bom?
Tá, mas eu também não. Você não foi 14,19, certo?
Não, eu passei hoje.
The president abolished the Department of Education.
You know, what is going on in this country, not only with education, but other institutions. The president is operating very into they want changes in public education. They want to abolish the Department of Education. That is the process. That is what our Constitution is. We have three separate branches of government. Executive, legislative, and judicial. We are not, and cannot, and must not move through all power.
Once he's confirmed, are you concerned about what happened?
I am concerned that there's a real look. It is a little bit weird
just a little bit, but the president of the United States fell ahead of the Kennedy Center.
Did you know?
My belly button in America, I think that's a little bit strange. You know, we have other people who know a little bit about culture. Although it's clearly happening in this country every single day. With us, with President Trump, there's more and more power going to fewer and fewer people. There are often people about you about
Can you tell me about your decision to co-sponsor Kane's Gaza bill?
I'm just a middle school teacher. Can I get a pic?
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need.
These Republicans seem to be all on the same page, at least for now. Axios reporting that GOP leaders in both chambers on Capitol Hill vow to turn those spending cuts into real legislation. Someone that's going to have to try to get that done is Senate Majority Leader John Thune. Great to have you in studio with us today.
Thanks. Nice to be with you, Bill.
I'm curious about the calls that you get from home into your office about DOGE.
Well, I mean, at least by and large, people are very supportive, and we are too. I mean, this is a scrub that's long overdue. There are so many systems in our federal government that are antiquated. You know, people operating in silos, bureaucracies built on top of bureaucracies, and modernizing our federal government, using technology to make it more efficient. I mean, this is a long overdue process. I'm delighted that it's happening, and we want to do everything we can to be supportive.
So I was going through some numbers this morning. I shared this with Katie Pavlich when she was on. This is what we're getting thus far.
Yeah.
We got about 280,000 government workers who are on the probation level. So they've been employed fewer than 24 months. And they could all be out of a job. At the Veterans Affairs, they think they could save $98 million. And they would take that money and not put it back in the government coffers, but they would put it toward health care benefits and services to the VA, which would be good as well. But you're not going to save that money. At the moment, 3% of the civilian workforce, about 75,000, had volunteered to take the buyout if that buyout holds up in court. Right. I know that's a lot, but I mean, as you look at this right now, what do you think the real number could be in the end for the percent?
Well, it's hard to say how many will actually take up the offer on the buyout, but I don't think there's any question, Bill, there's an enormous amount of room for reduction in force. And in fact, borne out by a study that was done not that long ago, it was actually reported on by the New York Times that only 6% of the federal workforce is back in the office full time. I mean, think about that. Now, there are some offices, obviously, that you can, or jobs you can do remotely. But the federal government, the federal workforce, just like I said, this is long overdue. It's going to take somebody probably from the outside, somebody like Elon Musk, to be able to do it and do it right. And obviously, they're going to identify some things that perhaps can't be changed or fixed. But there's a ton of stuff out there, I think. We've done better. Yeah. Well, I think about it. I mean, the inefficiency in our federal government is baked in and built in. And literally over decades.
Well, I'm sure you probably ran on the issue when you first ran for it.
I did, yeah, exactly.
The thing is that President Trump is going to get his cabinet.
Right.
And one of the reasons he's going to get it is because you were able to separate that through.
Another movie to savor the crunchy nooks and cranny splendor of a Thomas's English muffin.
Which is it, Mom?
She's got to go get in her big black taxpayer-funded SUV. That's what happens when you don't have transparency in the government. Why do you deserve a big black taxpayer-funded SUV? Is that why you're so against DOGE? Is that what the problem is? The lack of transparency in your
what's happening on the other side is kind of what we showed you there with Elon and Trump. It's like there's laughing, there's fun, there's kids around. Think back to last week when Donald Trump signed the executive action banning boys and girls sports, and all of the girls that were cheering and around. Like there's something happy actually happening here and joyful as it relates to politics and getting back to normalcy. I would say that also has about 20% of good-natured trolling, and Elon knows how to do some good-natured trolling, and look how that is being translated on the CNN show.
Now to disruptor in chief Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias since he changed his social media handle to Harry Ball, tweeted this morning, "Democracy in America is being destroyed by fishy poop."
Look, if none of this stuff ever gets fixed, if this is just a temporary blip in joy that we're having and it all gets reversed tomorrow, the fact that Dana Bash had to go on CNN and say Harry Balls makes it all worth.
La Victoria, inspired by early clothes since 1917.
Aluminum-free 72-hour odor protection. Aluminum and all
I guess this means I want to be invited to the white parties in the head. You know what? And you know you don't want to. I'm out to kill. You know what? Because I just do what I want. Fucking around and get the back on. My heart colder than that corner you get cracked on. Back on, show your purpose.
Lahat kong bahaya siya.
Richard, wash your hands. I'll need soap. Wash your hands. Soap. Not just a little one. Soap. But you guys need to all wash your hands after eating. It's a new rule. Buddy. Come on. You're too skinny. You want top ramen? And you're gonna eat some apple or something. You're gonna get the cool apple. What?
senha, bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Gente.
Eat lunch first, and we'll talk about it.
Cadê minha comida?
Tomar água.
Vai sentar lá e dançar aqui.
Oi. Tá? Eu vou dormir agora. Pipau. Pipau. Sabe o que é o bom? E Ana PFR 7 Eu sou áudio, mãe. Eu sou áudio.
O quê?
Eu sou áudio.
Atrás de quê?
Da Dayana.
Qual, Dayana?
17.
Ei, gato, aqui. Ei, deixa daqui.
Eu tô bonito. Eu enquanto tudo, eu enquanto tudo.
Eu já falei, se eu falar de novo, você não vai saber falar hoje. Tem que entender como eu falo as coisas com vocês. Aí uma vez só.
Que dia?
So strong, it's a guy that